Hey, hello, what's up, guys? This is Maina from Civil Center. How are all of you doing? Please let me know in the comment section in this particular time. Today we'll start a new video on Tekla Structural Designer. Actually, one of the students of a recorded session of the Tekla Structural Designer had asked it out. It's some time I didn't reply to him, so I want to just reply to him also. And I also want to make a video for all of YouTube viewers also. So if you are not know about the recorded session of the Tekla Structural Design, it is a community in which we have right now 43. So if you deduct official staff, it will be around like 40 students and 40 students and professionals, and there are many experienced professionals as well who are in this record session of Tekla Structural Designer. They work on various projects, share their projects here, and also share their ideas and doubts and discussions. So everything they do, and this community has been created using the Tekla record sessions record sessions classes. So you can just join it. In any video we have this Tekla record session classes. You'll find in here in this this option in the description. You can just click on this, and the record session of the Tekla Structural Designer, this will open, and you can fill up the details, and you can just fill up your type, and after that will be forwarded to the payment. The price currently is 7,500, and for 7,500 you will get the entire process of making a building plan, and then the entire process of an error-free model in Tekla, and then the particular how to make the structural drawings. So you will have an access to that, and we keep on adding on projects. We will add 100 projects in this particular record sessions, and also you'll have access, will be added to this WhatsApp group in which you will have different professionals talking about Tekla, and you can ask and clear all your doubts and queries here as well. Also you'll get 4 doubt clearing sessions which are held once in a week, or at least one session in every 2 weeks is held on this doubts of the recorded session. So if you want to avail that, you can do that. Okay, so coming back to our topic on shear walls, the drawings, how to read the drawings of shear walls in Tekla Structural Designer. So what I'll do, I'll just make a simple some simple shear walls, and we'll try to just decode the drawing and explain to you like what the drawing is all about, and then we can proceed ahead. So before going, we'll just go to design and design settings and change the settings of our walls here. So here we have let's say we have this particular option of your walls here. So reinforcement detailing, vertical bar size. So vertical bar size, I'll take minimum bar size of let's say 10 mm here, and 10 mm will be the minimum vertical bar size. Maximum bar size FE 500, and then let's say I think 10 mm is sufficient for the vertical bar. So we also can give 12 mm. Let's give 12 mm. Okay, and then the vertical bars in end zone also will give the same this end zone also FE 500, and this 10 mm, and this will be 8, and this also 500 and 12 mm. Okay, and then we'll give this horizontal bars of 8 mm. Yeah, this is sufficient. Horizontal bars of 8 mm is good. And this tie or confinement bars, will just do this as FE 500 and 8 mm here, and this will also be your FE 500 and 8 mm. Okay, confinement bars in end zone, first of all I'll make an FE 500, and then we'll go here 8 mm, and okay, and here also I'll just do it, change it to FE 500 and 8 mm. So these settings I have done, and I hope this is FE 500 here. Okay, so after we have done this settings, we'll just click on OK. I'll just click on save. This will be saved for all the projects, and then I'll click on OK. So after I have done that, I want to create my construction levels first. Go to model and then construction levels here, and then you can just insert level below, and here we'll do spacing of minus 1.2 meters, and this is our plinth level, this is the foundation level, and let's go one level above, one level, and this spacing will be 3.2, and this will be structural slab level SSL. Slab thickness, let's give 100 mm, and this is my G, and let's go G plus 1, and click on OK. So we'll go here and check here the levels here, then you can see all the levels have been made. So after that, you'll simply go to the base level. You can just click on here the plinth level, or you can simply open this, because the plinth level is open by default, plinth level and the 3D view. So here we'll just import. You can import the DXF, or you can create the file. In this case we'll create the file in the rectangular wizard. Here I'll use the rectangular wizard, and then I'll just create grids in all the directions. So I'll have here, after this you can click next, and after that in the x-axis I'll have let's say 1, 2 and 3 and 4 numbers of base of length 4 meters I think, and y also I'll have 4 number of base of length 4 meter. So let's see if that serves the purpose. If you provide the shear walls along the internal portion, you can provide the columns along the outer portions. Like this I am planning to do here. So let's see, and then click on, I think we can just reduce this. If you can reduce this to number of to 2, and this also to 2, does it serve the purpose? Here only we can, as you can see, you can provide 4 columns, and okay, we'll just use 3 here, and the next also 3. That will also serve the purpose. Okay, so go to next and then finish. So after this is done, now we have the option of placing our columns and all. So let's place some columns, and then we'll place some shear walls. So we'll just use some columns here. Click on this column, and just to take any size of the column, I can take the default size, and I'll just provide it. Okay, default size. For if you change the size, I'm not changing the size. Here let me provide one, and here let me provide one, here another one, and here I'm providing another column here. So along this I think we can provide some beams here. Here also let me provide some columns just to assume, and here I can provide a shear wall in this span. Along this span I can provide some shear wall. So we'll go here, the option of your meshed wall. So you have this mud pile wall, meshed wall. So we'll go to meshed walls, and then select this, and from here to here, from here to here, and from here to here. We'll select like this and go back to the column, and I'll just put some more columns here like this. And now I can check the structure 3D. This is the model which has been made here in the structure 3D, and this is the model of the shear wall in between and the columns along the side. So in the base level we'll just go and provide the beams. Beams will connect like this. These beams connect like this, so it looks like this. Validate the model, and the validation is okay. So this is a plinth level, and the beams, all the beams are connecting, and we have the shear walls. Model is validated. Now you can apply the loads and all. So if you want, you can just copy the beams from here. You can see all the beams have been selected, and then you can just select and copy it to the next level. You can go, let's see if we can do that here. Also you can use other options. So if you just click on copy, and then you will have this option of this floor. So this entire thing has been copied. So we want here only the cast in place concrete beam spans and cast in place concrete beams, and then copy, and then just place it at the top. So as you can see, the member is intersecting like this, so we don't want that. So you just place the beams in the next level. It's very similar. Go to structure 1, and we'll just use the model, and use the beams here, and place the beams here like this, and we'll even provide the slabs. So let's provide the slabs. Let's assume that we have apart from this portion we have the slab everywhere. So let's assume like this, and for the next floor, let's see if the property of the similar floors will work. I think will not work because of the factor of your this shear walls. Let's see if this works. So go to construction levels, and to make this floor as 1, let's see if it works properly. Okay, so it has worked, and I think it will not give any validation errors as well. So like this you can copy with the same process. You can copy all the floors. So suppose this is a shear wall in between the normal structure, and we have beams and columns all around. So like this, if you just design the structure, so let's provide some general loads of the walls here. Let's provide the wall loads first, and some general loads will provide. And when we provide the general loads, we provide 5 kilonewton everywhere now, and let's provide 5 for the outer walls, and because this load varies, right? So and 2.5 for the inner walls. Let's provide load like this, and when we have provided this, you can see in the structure 3D, go and just turn on the load here, dead loads. So in the next level also we'll provide the same loading here, dead load, and this full UDL 5, and also the 2.5. So also let's apply the imposed loads as well, full UDL of 2, sorry, no, level load of 2. So level load of 2 we have provided here. You can check here, imposed loads, we provided this, made this similar flow. So you can go here, construction levels, and make this back as unique. Okay, so it is done. The dead loads and the imposed loads have been applied, and after we have applied all this, we can just validate the model here, this option of validate here, and after that we can just apply the load combinations. If you want, you can also apply the seismic load, seismic wizard, and then we'll use the core spectra. I also prefer going for the model response spectrum analysis. Or everyone asks me why I use this response spectrum when I'm using static mode, because this gives lesser errors. We can use this process also, but both are according to IS codes, but it gives slightly conservative design, the response spectrum, but it gives less error in the software, and since we are taking on the safer side, so I think we are good. So that's why I go with this, but you can take as per your preference. You can go for the other method as well, it's not wrong. So next, and just select all this and take it once, the live dead loads and live loads considerations, and then I'll just operating, and then click on finish. And after that we'll just go, and then we'll just, so after that let's define some load combinations. So we'll go to your loads option and define this combination here, and click on generate, and then select this operating, and then click on next, and all these combinations are selected, and after that we'll click on next, and then next, and then finish, and then click on OK. So after that we'll just click on validate, and the model has been validated, and we'll go to this design, and then design all static. So just after we just click on this design all static, the model will get designed. So now as you can see, the model has been designed. We'll just simply remove the loads here, and let's remove this to none, and we'll just see the design of one particular shear wall. So just right click on it, and just check selection static, just click on that, and you can see this is the length, 4 meter length, and the thickness 200 mm. Vertical bars is pretty clear that the 10 mm bars are used. They have calculated 42, but let's ignore that. 10 mm bars are used at a spacing of 196. So practically we will provide 10 mm bars at a spacing of 200 mm. That's the mathematics which you are having. And for the ties, or the shear bars, as you can see here, it is also given. This you can see 12 mm bars at the spacing of 400 mm center to center. So now this is interesting. 10 mm is for the vertical, and 12 mm is for the horizontal. So generally what happens, the vertical bars are more and the horizontal bars are of lesser diameter. So we can adjust that. Let's adjust that, and then we can design. So let's go to model. We go to design and go to settings, and see this walls, vertical walls. Okay, we are having this, and horizontal bars. We are having vertical bars in end zone and horizontal bars in end zone. Ties we have made 6 here, so let's do it 8. I don't remember making it 6. And vertical bars in end zone, these are vertical bars, tie horizontal bars here, these are 8 mm, but still they are using. Okay, let's save and then just check whether it affects the design now or not. Right click and then design selection static. So 10 mm bars here and 12 mm bars here. Horizontal bars, they are not changing. Okay, so I'll come up with, I think horizontal bars, if we just change this, let me just check last time. Go to settings, and here the vertical bars in end zone, So if I just change this to 10 and 10, and whether it makes any difference, let's see. Save and OK, and then select, and then right click, and then design selection static. So shear summary here 12 mm bar, so it doesn't change that. Okay, so we'll look into it, but the overall summary is that in the vertical bars they're using 10 mm bars at a spacing of 200 we can use, and the 12 mm bars we can use at a spacing of 400. So if you are using 10 mm, so spacing will be less obviously, or 8 mm the spacing will be less. We can use 8 mm at the spacing of like 150 or something. So we can calculate that. You all, I think you know how to calculate the area of steel for the different spacing and the different bars. If you don't know, tell us in the comment section, make a video on that. So now about the drawing, let's see the main topic of this drawing. The video was on the drawings. So just generate the detailing drawing, and this will be generated in the AutoCAD software. And after this is open in the Open AutoCAD software, any CAD software which you are having, it will open in that. So you can look into this diagram. You have to look a bit commonsensical, because already this is a software. Software will do the work of a software, and we have to be a little bit commonsensical here. So right now what we see here is actually the little bit opposite what we saw there. So it is telling that it's actually giving the very right results here. So it's telling that when we are using the vertical bars, we are using the 12 mm bars at a spacing of 400 mm. Okay, so 12 mm bars at a spacing of 400 mm we are using here. So as you can see, 12 mm bars at a spacing of 400 mm we are using here. And after that, for the remaining bars of the tie bars, we are using 10 mm bars at a spacing of 200 mm center to center. So like that we are dividing the reinforcement. 10 mm is used for the ties, and 12 mm is used for the horizontal bar. So let's verify it with the cross section. The cross section, as you can see here, you can check here the C given. C is A is not given here. A is not given here. C is given here. See, if you see the section here, so in the wall section, the C is the C and B both are the horizontal bars. These are the vertical bars. So C and B both are your 12 mm bars. So the horizontal bars here, okay, I've just got it wrong. So the horizontal bars here are 400 mm center to center, like here also. As you can see, if you just open this also, design selection static, the horizontal bars shear summary are 12 mm bars at a spacing of 400 mm center to center. So this is given here, as you can see here, C and B, these are the horizontal bars. So these are the 12 mm bars at the rate 400 center to center, and the vertical bars, if you just see here also, vertical bars are the 10 mm bars at a rate 200 center to center. So what is 42? This 42 is the total number of bars anyway. If you count this, it will be 21, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and if it's 11, then also plus 11, that will be like, okay, let's count 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So 21 into 2, 42. So this is the 42 here, and 10 is the diameter of the bar, and 200 is the spacing, and 2 is representing that it is in 2 layers. So this is the decoding of this, and let's decode this. So what is this? 3 into 12 into 6 into and 400. 12 is the diameter of the bar. Let's finish that. 3 to T12 means, or if you are using Euro codes, it will show 3H12. H12. So 12 is the diameter of the bar. 400 is the spacing of the bar. And what do you mean by this 6, and what do you mean by this 3 option? So if you can see here, if you just see here, we will have this ties are applied in different parts, but we'll decode that later. But it is not actually that much important, this option of 3 and what is this 6. It will mean something, but actually when for executing in the site, we'll keep it simple. We'll just give 3 T12 at the rate 400 center to center. We'll write like this. We'll not use this 3 and 6. Also will not use the 42 and 2. We'll just use 10T at the rate 200 center to center. So we'll keep it simple in our structural drawing, but we know now what are the data which are to be taken from this design of the shear walls and the drawings in the Tekla Structural Designer. So to sum up all, sum up everything, if you just design any particular shear wall in Tekla structural design, you'll get the vertical bar summary here, vertical bar summary you'll get here. You'll just take this value 10 mm bars at the rate 200 mm spacing center to center distance, and 12 mm bars at a spacing of 400 mm center to center distance. So like this you can check, and the same is for the drawings as well, how to decode the drawings. So I hope after watching this video we have known what are the results we need to take from this particular software. So since we have known that, we'll end today's session. How did you find this video? Please let us know in the comment section, and if you found anything useful, please like the video. It helps us to reach more people like you in the YouTube algorithm. So thanks for supporting, thanks for watching, and keep learning. See you in the upcoming video.